up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Brinkat, and welcome guys to another new movie review. Today I'm going to review a new sci-fi movie that just appeared on VOD right now, Love and Monsters. This movie is a director debut by Michael Matthews and stars Dylan O'Brien, Jessica Henwick, Ariana Greenblatt, and Michael Rooker. So before I continue my review of Love and Monsters, please make sure you guys subscribe my channel and ring the bell for more movie reviews and other movie related content. Love and Monsters is a science fiction romantic comedy film that took place in a post-apocalyptic world where monsters are ruling around the earth, and we get this character named Joel, played by Dylan O'Brien, who's been living underground for 7 years after this apocalypse has been going on, and he decided to go on a 7-day journey to find the love of his life with all the other side characters and monsters in his way.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
You all alone? Me too. You don't have to talk about it. You wanna come with me?
So I can't sleep at night.
Look out! Is that a samurai sword?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Now when I first saw the trailer of Love and Monsters, I was literally like thinking this is basically Zombieland, but looks PG-13 and it's just with monsters. I wasn't really that pumped for this movie. I love Dylan O'Brien. I think he's a very phenomenal actor. I love him in the Maze Runner movies. I love him in American Assassin. I thought he was fantastic in that film. Even Deepwater Horizon, he's a great actor. But just the whole movie on its own just looks very generic. It looks like it could be a movie that we need just for a popcorn fun entertainment, but the movie doesn't really interest me from the trailers. But when I heard great things about this movie, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to rent it on VOD and I'm going to check this movie out. Guys, I am so blown away of how good Love and Monsters is. Guys, I was really surprised by this movie. I did not expect a film like this to be probably my favorite films of 2020. I was one of those people that I wasn't excited for this film, and I love films that really surprise me. I love films like that, and I would say Paramount is doing really well with their films, like with movies like, okay, we don't know what to think, and the movies turn out really great, like A Quiet Place, Rocket Man. Like, Paramount is really great at making films that we're very skeptical for really, really good. I had a blast with this movie, guys, and my biggest positive I'm going to give to this film that really stood out in this movie is Dylan O'Brien. If he wasn't in this movie wouldn't be loved by me. I loved him in this film. His character in this movie felt very realistic, and you really do root for him going on this journey, because most of this movie is an adventure movie, and you see him going through all these stuff like the monsters in his way, meeting side characters, and you really love his character. Not just he's like a light-hearted, kind character, he's also a hilarious character. You love his humor throughout the film, and he felt like a realistic character for me. There are parts in this movie that I'm like, yes, I feel related to his character. And Dylan O'Brien, of course, does a great performance in this film because he's a phenomenal actor. I would say this is definitely one of his better roles in a while. Also, the side characters that Joel meets in the film, there are two survivors in the film, played by Michael Rooker and Ariana Greenblatt. I thought they were fantastic in this film. Of course, Michael Rooker, I was honestly kind of excited for him in this film because he looked like a badass in the trailer. And he's really good in this film. He's not like Woody Harrelson from Zombieland. He's more of a guide to Joel's character, basically telling him what is basically happening, how to survive in this post-apocalyptic world of monsters. And I thought he's fantastic in the film. Ariana Greenblatt in the film, she's killing it this year. She's young Velma in Scoob. She's in The One and Only Ivan. I thought her character is very sweet in that film, and there was no difference with this film. She was very sweet in the film. Like, you just love her and Dylan O'Brien together, and you love her as a character. Also, Jessica Henwick, who was in Underwater this year, now she's returning to this movie as Joel's girlfriend, Amy, that he's basically on this journey for. And I would say the role she's in, the parts that she's in the movie, she was really good in the film. And I love her chemistry with Dylan O'Brien. I'm not going to spoil what happens in the film with them two, but their chemistry in the film was actually really cute and sweet in the film. And you do root for them to come back together, and that's the thing. This is also a romantic comedy film, so you really do root for this couple to reunite together after all those years. But of course, the thing that really stood out with Love and Monsters for me is this dog in the film. The chemistry between Dylan O'Brien and this dog named Boy in the film was definitely the best part of this movie. It's not just that, oh, I'm a dog lover and every dog in the movie I'm just like, it's the best part of the movie because it's so cute. I feel like Boy is an actual character in the film. When you first introduced to him, you felt like he's a human type character, but as a dog. And when they survive together, you root for them to stay together in the film. And I thought the character of Boy is just so adorable. But I love that they made this dog an actual character in the film, and you root for this dog. Which, that's a plus right there, Michael Matthews. That's a big plus right there. With the visual effects of this movie cost $30 million with the visual effects. And holy shit, the visual effects actually look amazing in this film. Probably some of the best visual effects I've seen all year. I love the look of the monsters. I love the designs of the monsters. They made them look kind of kooky and fun at times, but in a good way. But even some, they look terrifying. But they put these monsters in basically in the right genre and right timing. And basically these monsters take form of different little creepy crawlers like frogs, ants, antlers, crabs, and all that stuff. And I love the design of these monsters. They look really, really good in the film. There's not a monster that's like, oh, this looks terrible. All the monsters look really good in the film. I love the design of these monsters. And even the whole world of this movie. I love that this movie introduces this world that you kind of loved. Even though it's a very scary world, they make that world kind of fun in some way. It's like they're making fun of a post-apocalyptic world, especially from Dylan Bryan's narration in the film, because he does narrate throughout the film. You just had fun with this world, and this whole movie is just very lighthearted. It's very fun. The action scenes are very hyped up. It's very fast-paced. This movie just, I enjoy it from start to finish. But I would say, even though I liked it from start to finish, the third act, in my opinion, is probably the big flaw with me in the film. It's not boring or anything. At times it did slow down, but it didn't bore me or anything. It's just how the third act progresses. They're putting a villain in the film for the sake of putting a villain, and I'm not going to say who the villain is because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a specific character in the film and I'm just like, yeah, he's just there for being a villain. And this villain just came out in the middle of nowhere and just changes the whole film in general. Still lighthearted and fun like it was with the first two acts, but I just felt like that aspect of the film could have just been cut out and make the monsters more of a villain in this film. But overall, guys, I had a blast with Love and Monsters. This movie really surprised me. I did not expect a movie like this to be good. At times it does feel like Zombieland, but in a good way. But it felt like its own movie too. I think Michael Matthews did a great job directing this movie. I want to see more from this world. I want to see a sequel from this movie, like I'm not gonna lie. Dylan O'Brien is fantastic in the film. The journey he's going is really, really entertaining. The other side characters, every single cast member did a really great job in the film except for the villain, of course. This is one of those movies that you just have to sit down, stream it on VOD, and just have some popcorn, because this is definitely a popcorn movie. Shame that this movie didn't come out in theaters. This would have been a fun summer film. I'm going to give Love and Monsters an 8 out of 10. So far, this movie is probably my favorite movie of this year. I had a blast. This is definitely the biggest surprise that I had in 2020. This movie definitely made me smile throughout this whole coronavirus. So of course I'm still going to continue doing my favorite horror movie reviews, of course. But also there's going to be a lot of new movies that are coming out on streaming services during October. So I'm going to gap in between them, like review one favorite horror film, one new film, one favorite horror film, etc, etc. And still doing the 2010 Staker Rewind. I'm still going to continue working on those. So there's a lot of stuff for me to do. So guys, let me know what you think of Love and Monsters. Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel to notify for my latest videos. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and have a nice day.